one of them involving, I know what all of you have been waiting on, and that is Eddie Van Adler goes deer hunting for the first time with the boys. We'll get away to a beautiful Dream Ranch. He's never killed a deer. We went through this on Friday's program, trying to see if he was prepared to go. Look, here he comes. Look here he comes. Here he comes. He is back, and there he is, camoed out. Wow.
Still has camo on.
Still got your camo on.
Still got his cartoon camo.
Yeah, look
Yeah, I'm a hunter now, guys. Wear camo. Hunters wear camo.
That's
Newsflash, Greg. Hunters wear camo.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know because you're not a hunter because you didn't go to Dream Ranch this weekend, you idiot.
He's been waiting on that all day.
Well, he claimed I would ruin it if I went.
Would Greg have ruined it?
It would have been a much more negative experience. People would have talked about, sad stuff the entire time because Greg.
All right. First of all, how about Dream Ranch?
Beautiful establishment, Dream Ranch. Wow. Y'all weren't joking.
I know.
Y'all were not joking around.
Yeah.
A lot of times y'all will mess with me, but stuff. Y'all weren't messing with me. This one time. It's the first time, I think.
All right. So you've captured the hunt.
I did. I was only able to. So I drove out. I got there late on Friday, so I couldn't hunt on Friday. So I only had the Saturday morning and the Saturday afternoon opportunities because I actually drove back Saturday night to get to church Sunday morning. So those were my only chances: Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, no, I mean we
cold.
Had cold.
Yeah.
Real cold. Do you want me to kind of give you a real quick recap of kind of my Dream Ranch experience?
Yeah, that's why we got you.
Yeah.
All right, so we get there, and y'all, I live in the city. I step out of my truck once I get to Dream Ranch. I live in, like, the middle of the city, so I don't see much stars. And I just look up and say, just wow. Just wow, God, wow.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
It's a different look when you're away from all the city lights.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So
He gives each one of them a name.
that was just a huge, awesome way to start the trip. So I get there. At one point, I go downstairs. All the men and all the guys are hanging out upstairs. I hang out with the guys, chilling out, being cool. And I want to say what's up to the kids, too, just real quick. So I go downstairs just to say what's up. Check out the shooting, the mud room where all the guns are and all that stuff. Rick, you showed me that. And I got kind of hung up for a split second there. There were some kids down there. I said, what's up? And they were watching TV down there. And I stood there for a split second because Mean Girls was on. And, I mean, come on. How can you walk away from Mean Girls? Great movie. I mean, Tina Fey, Lindsay Lohan,
Did you find yourself torn with which group you're supposed to hang with?
Rick, you go, hey, Adler, men are upstairs.
Hey, buddy.
So that was really funny. Then I actually ended up bunking with Rick and Brody and Taz.
Oh.
So we're all hanging out, and Rick, I thought that was awesome. You read a devotional to the kids before we all went to sleep. Felt like one of your sons, real like a 14-year-old kid, but that's fine. It was great.
Please
really
picture
good.
this: we're having our devotion before we go to bed, and I look around and I see my sons. I'm going down the bunk beds. There's a son. There's a son, and all of a sudden I turn, and Adler's sitting there like, God, Dad, this is really a good point. And so, yeah, it was great.
But that was really super cool. So we all shut it down for the night. We're going to sleep. And in the middle of the night, I got real cold, y'all. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was having a real problem keeping my upper part of my body warm.
You weird person.
I'm like clutching myself. And I'm like, all right, just get something, man. You don't want to wake anybody up, but you got to get something. So I'm trying to be all quiet and stuff, and I get in my bag, and I'm like, squeezing into all I could find was a jacket. I didn't want to turn on a light. We're all in the same room. So I just found a jacket. I put it on. I'm sneaking in. And then I get back in my bed. I'm like, did it. I didn't wake anybody up. All right. And then I hear Rick go in the dark, hey, Adler, what time is it? Real loud, so I woke you up.
Woke the beard.
I woke you up. Sorry about that.
Disturbed the beard.
Or why are you wearing a jacket to bed?
Yeah, I did. I looked over and I thought, have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
And then so that I get through the night, and then we wake up, and
Of course, the beard wasn't cold.
no, Rick, I noticed you just slept in your whitey tighties, buddy.
That's right.
Or grippies, as you call
The
them.
beard doesn't get cold. The beard doesn't get cold.
He's uncomfortable.
I got to admit, Rick, seeing you straight up in your whitey tighties is a very striking.
It's an impressive sign, isn't it?
It's like somebody throws flour in your face. It's kind of that feeling. If you look at you, but hey, not in a bad way, but also not in a good way. I don't need that.
The name Big Pop is not handed out to everybody.
So we wake up. get all geared up. Everybody's geared up, and I actually, for once in my life, look like a hunter. So that was pretty cool.
Adler, let me ask you
We
this.
covered
Were
up the
you-
cartoon camo with
Did ya?
Were you nervous the night before when you were
Thinking
thinking
about
about going, what am I in for? I don't know what to expect. How was you feeling?
I was nervous. Yeah, a little bit. It helped. I got to give a huge shout out to my older brother Luke. We went and shot his 30 Otter 6 over at the over at Hoover Tactical earlier in the week, and I'm a great shot. And I actually have been deer hunting. This was actually my 4th time to go deer hunting, but it's been a decade since I've been.
But if you would have seen him giving the boys, it's like he didn't like everybody saying he'd never done it before. He goes, well, and I knew he was about to say, I almost blew my way. I used to live in Texas.
Yeah, Texas. He's
And
a rancher is
San
what he is.
Antonio.
But we came to the conclusion what he was calling deer hunting was hiking.
Hiking with a rifle.
I finally said what he's describing is not deer hunting. That's hiking and hoping you see something.
That's hiking with a rifle.
Right.
Yeah. But I am an outdoorsy guy. I know I don't seem like it, but I grew up going out and killing squirrels and does my whole life. I just kind of haven't done it in about a decade. So,
But never taken a deer.
never ever once taken a deer. In the morning we get out there, we drop Rick, and was it just because
You're scared.
Tasmo slept
Taz-
in.
No,
Or no, Big Love slept in.
Big Love does not get up and do morning hunts at all.
He's an afternoon guy.
Yeah, and plus, he was not on the board, so he was like you were talking about. He was only going to go out to support
That's right.
his brother, which I couldn't quite get as much enthusiasm about that on the morning hunt.
No.
So we drop you guys off. Did I seem like we're driving out? So I got this guy JD who was awesome. He was my guy.
Yeah, he's real
Great
nice.
guy.
If you need anything, talk to JD Thompson Tractor Company. He knows what he's doing. JD, you're the man, by the way. But when we're all driving, it was us 4. So you and your son, and then me and my guide. We're driving out there. Did I seem like huntery?
It was interesting to be in the truck. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I just the devotion thing's kind of funny, but when I looked and I'm in a truck with all the mud, all the gun, all the ammo, all the camo, driving out middle of the dark, trying to get there before sunrise, and I look and Adler's in there.
Yeah.
It was an odd feeling. Right. It wasn't, but I would say that you looked as hunterish as you possibly could.
Cool. I was trying to say cool stuff like, oh, they're going to be moving today. Stuff like that, you know?
Adler went on. He goes, I don't know if I like this wind.
Yeah.
It's like he'd found a website with certain things you were supposed to say.
They're going to be moving.
Let me tell you, Saturday morning was a little chilly.
Real chilly.
Next to the river.
Yes, it was.
A little breeze blowing. What was it, 11? Something like that?
Oh, my
Little
goodness
breezy
gracious. You
off
know,
Old Lake Gunnersville.
I just think that full moon the night before kind of hurt us. You know what I'm saying, guys?
He's great. Did
he's
you
got an
did you
app of
Google all
hunters.
that?
Yeah.
Did you Google all that?
A little bit. Helmsy, I kind of almost felt a little too comfortable. Helmsy let me borrow a heater. I mean, we're in a shooting house in the morning. JD and I, 4 hours go by, we see 3 doe and a couple spikes. And our kind of mindset was, all right, if it comes down to it, I can get a doe or maybe even a spike in the afternoon probably. So let's hold out. You know, a couple times we had a deer come up on the field. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I didn't think, okay, this is the
How
comparison.
nervous did you get?
Oh, real nervous. I didn't think this is the comparison I made to you, Rick. Because if you go out and you go fishing and you don't catch any fish, that's a bad day to me. And because I've done that a lot, and it's like, man, that was pretty boring. But I mean, it's just nice and relaxing, but it's not exciting. This, however, deer hunting, it can be really, really fun even if you don't take a deer.
Yeah.
In the morning, freezing cold. Sitting in a shooting house for almost 5 hours in the freezing cold, and I had a blast, which I did not think I could. I didn't even think was possible, but it was awesome.
He's becoming the son his mom always wanted.
I know. I'll tell you later. I'll save that line for what's coming up next hour. But Greg, he busts back up into Dream Ranch. You know, when you come back from the hunt, he busts back up in there. He goes, I didn't see any signs of the rut out there. He's throwing out terms. We saw a few spikes, a few does.
Saw a couple.
Nothing I wanted to take.
A couple of them even bedded down in the green field while I was sitting in the shooting house wearing scent remover and camouflage.
Yeah, he even looked at me and says, "Hey, Speedy, you gonna take your heavies off right now? You gonna keep those on since we're going back out?" And I was like, "But
we're gonna go back out. We're gonna go try to get back out there, maybe catch some midday." And then he kind of lost his terminology. He says, "Maybe they can rustle us up some breakfast." I said, "Hey, we're not cattle drivers. Yeah, we're deer hunting. We're not rustling up anything."
yeah,
I'm so glad I had the two chances, the 2 sessions there, because the first one I made the cardinal mistake. The very first spike.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
The very first spike rolls up. I'm like, "Ugh, a deer," and JD's like, "Be cool, man, be cool." I'm like, I am cool, man. I'm really cool. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay, I'll try to be cool then. And so, this deer comes up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my gun. And so I grab the gun, and it's actually your son.
Yes, the gun that would haunt me later. Yes,
very,
the 270.
very large gun, much too large.
It's a long gun.
And y'all, I'm trying to get the barrel out the window of the shooting house.
You didn't.
I hit it on the bottom windowsill. It goes clink, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. And then tink, I hit it on the top right after that.
Adler.
The deer looked straight at me, and he's like, you really suck at this, don't you? who's the new guy? And then he took off into the woods.
Too much gun.
Dang it.
Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Dream Ranch, everybody but Greg able to go, and including Coach was there. We still haven't talked about Coach. We'll get to that. There's many stories to go. Right now we're at Eddie Van Adler taking his first deer. He's gone out for his first morning hunt. They did not see anything, and he did not have a gun. Now this will come back into the Dream Ranch recap later. I was bringing. We were going to try to get in a duck hunt, so that I was told to bring our shotguns because one of mine wanted to duck hunt, and the pond ended up being frozen, so we couldn't. So I was bringing so many weapons that I made a decision. If the weapon was not absolutely necessary, I was not going to bring it. So, but Adler needed a rifle, so I was going to let him have. I didn't think he was ready for the big 300. I wish I would have thought he was, and so I brought him a 270. For him to use, and we find out that it's a long gun because it's my oldest son's gun, who's 6'3" and some change, and so
that long barrel's good though, more accurate.
Yeah. So you had some issues with that gun, and did we make an executive decision in the afternoon hunt to go to a smaller gun?
We did. I had your son's gun, and I had a hard time getting rid of the black in the scope. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you call too much gun?
Too much butt, too much stock.
Too much stock, and
Too much butt. Story of my life, right, guys?
So you needed the youth model, right?
Nobody said it was a youth model.
Of course it was.
Hey Adler, you'll love this, and you probably have not seen this product, but they make a thing that goes over the scope, will hold your phone, and you put it on video, and you can see the crosshairs in the phone. Isn't that funny? And record it what you're seeing through the scope.
I want y'all to watch.
Cool,
I want. Now this is where the story
aiming with a TV screen.
It's nuts.
A trend now begins in the hunt that Austin Ainsworth, who's there, in the guides. The first trend has started because we're not seeing any of the bigger bucks. Full moon, they've been pressured.
We ain't seen them for long.
The rut was kind of. And all of a sudden, we knew Bubba was going to shoot because neither Bubba nor I had ever shot a deer at Dream Ranch. Always been our kid. So if our kids had already shot, we had taken them off. I was going to let Brody try to upgrade. So that was the deer that our family had. And, of course, Dad had one. And so I was kind of out. But I was going to wait and see if Brody tagged out, either me or Brooks. We might go back and say, hey, how much would it cost if we decided to go, outside of that? Well, all of a sudden, Austin comes over and he says, look, get your gun. And I don't have my gun. He's like, do you have a gun? I said, yeah. He goes, you're hunting. He said, he said, I'm about to take you and Bubba, and I'm going to put y'all in one area. He said, we got to get some I want some big bucks on the ground. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I've just been told I can hunt at Dream Ranch. And, I've been guiding the kids. I'm about to get my shot to hunt at and I almost couldn't contain myself.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing this.
You'd have teared up if you had tear ducts.
Yeah, so now I've been put out into a ladder stand out in the hardwoods of Dream Ranch, and he's saying, look, at this point, if one comes through you put it down, and there ain't no problem. And I said, okay, so I'm not going to let you then come to me like, no, I want you and Bubba if there's any way possible. Somebody, we got to get a big deer on the ground. So now was the first change of strategy a little bit. I now have arrived at Dream Ranch thinking I'm not going to hunt, and now I'm hunting. So hold that. All right, so now Adler's out. Tell us what happened. We got video, audio, and everything, right?
So this is my last chance. I'm out in the shooting house, and we drop off your two sons, Big Love and Taz. We dropped them off. They're actually at a shooting house by themselves. That was a little intimidating, the fact that those two kids are going out by themselves, and I've got a guide.
Right.
By the way, JD Miles, man, you the man. Thank you so much for guiding me through this whole thing. And I really felt so much better having a guy with me in the house and say, that's okay. Otherwise, I honestly probably would have shot one of those spikes that I saw in the morning. I saw a couple.
Well, that's
spikes
why you
come
had a
through.
guide with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm looking. I'm like, man, it's huge. I see a huge deer out there, and he's like,
Yeah.
that's a baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I won't
It's all
shoot
about
that
experience.
then.
Believe it or not,
Right.
Taz, my son, had already passed on some bucks that he thought were too small.
There you go.
So he actually has done this.
It's not
before.
brown, it's down.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Adler.
it's not brown
Okay,
down.
no,
Okay.
no.
For you, it is because you never killed him.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So this is my chance. So we parked the truck about 200 yards or so from the shooting house, and we had a little hike, guys. So, and we get
You
out
had to
of the
walk
truck.
in camo, buddy.
We get out of the truck, and JD Miles, he sprays.
What field are you at?
We're at, we go out to the very low corner.
Do you know what it's called?
It was the suck egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What?
where Braden, that's
Yeah.
where Braden shot his.
It's
That's
called-
where Hunter got his first deer.
went to the old suck egg field.
Well, that's where Reese shot his.
It's right next to Suck Egg Road. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
That's why they call
Yeah.
it that.
Yeah.
It's not because of like eggs or anything, you know.
Right. Thank you. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So take us there.
All right, so we're like, all right, we're gonna be real quiet. We're gonna hike on into the shooting house. All right, so he sprays me down with scent remover. I got my camo on, all this stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome, man. So we're hunting, and he's like, one time in my
You now
life,
got a youth gun,
I've got a smaller gun, a smaller size gun. I like to call it a subcompact.
a Red Ryder.
had a compass in the stock. Luckily, I got a compass in the stock. So we're walking out there, and he's like, you know what? One time in my life, I saw the biggest buck of the entire hunting trip on the walk. So go ahead and chamber one. I'm like, are you sure? Because I didn't question him, but Rick, I remember you telling me don't chamber it till you get in the house.
Well, he's a guide, and you've got it on safety.
Do what
That's
you
true.
got.
I did have it on safety.
Right.
So I chambered it. Chambered a bullet. That's the sound it makes.
Yeah. It's
Not
like
sure
a
if y'all-
vault door closing. isn't it?
Not sure if y'all know that much about guns. So we're walking out, get into the shooting house, and I've got some video here.
Here we go.
Oh,
Audio and
boy.
video of
Love
it. Adler's first ever. Look, please look at him.
So this, we hadn't been sitting long, and this deer just rolls up in. We had not, and he sees me. I'm like, ugh, and so I freeze. I'm like, oh my gosh! And he's right there. He's right up on me, and that's the
Oh, he's got
camera zooming in, and there he is right there, ready to roll. I got a good shot on him. I got a good sight on him. Here we go.
Oh yeah, good shot.
Yeah.
Little back, not bad though. Still right in the area.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's gonna go down right there, Adler. Adler, you made a great shot.
I freak out.
Yeah. So she.
How hard is your heart beating?
I
right
feel like
now?
I've just done a whole lot of cocaine. A whole lot.
whatever that's like. And he is down.
Look, watch right here.
Watch this.
I'm freaking out. I can't believe what just happened.
Greg.
How about that? How about that, Ray?
Look at that face.
Can't believe it.
Put him on the ground. Didn't even make it out of the field, my man.
Adler, you can. I know that
Yeah.
feeling.
Y'all,
Real good, man.
it's like lightning.
Real good. I don't even know how many points he has. I don't even know, man. Looked good though. Looked real good. One shot, great shot. Thanks. Great shot. Great shot.
He's breathing.
And so this is me walking out to
I
it.
thought for a minute you was ringing the bell at Texas Tech there when you.
I didn't know JC. I didn't know JC shot. Is that him?
Is that-
Look,
That's
no,
me.
that's Adler. I'm
There's
sorry.
somebody's kid walking. Look,
I'm
got
an adult man.
Listen to that mud.
You got his blade. You hear what he said?
I
I'm going
didn't
to go ahead and finish him off.
Y'all, I'm walking up with this deer. I can't believe it.
It's a big old deer.
What do you do?
I'd give anything for that deer to jump up right there.
Hold him up good.
I stuck my finger right in the bullet hole, guys. Had to do it. There we go.
All right, there he is, Adler's first deer.
And as a point of pride, I got this from Coach Burgess, your dad, Rick.
Look,
I
he's-
said, I will drag my own deer to the road.
Okay,
I've
well,
got to do it. So
well,
that one's a much
Robin.
easier drag than probably the one that Coach shot later in the
Yeah.
weekend. But
Right, that's true, that's true.
But it's your first one, buddy. I'm
There
telling
you
you.
go.
All right,
Use
listen,
them
listen,
legs.
listen.
Got me a deer.
Don't miss this one.
This is Buck Rogers.
Buck, right?
He put up a fight. Killed him actually with a huge knife. I know it looks like a bullet wound was a knife. I was just so fast. Put him out of his misery. That's what you get, buddy, for being so stupid and delicious.
So that was my my post hunting
That was a
recap
good one.
there. Yeah.
Well, and if you remember the moment when we kicked off the Christmas season here, your mom and dad, Michael and Linda Adler, were here after your latest skateboard crash being pulled by a dog.
Right.
And your mom said she wished you would be like other boys. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she really. She's sick of me hurting myself doing the skateboard.
She said,
thing.
"Why can't you be like other boys and watch football and drink beer?"
Right.
That was
Yeah.
her quote.
Yeah,
She said,
yeah.
"Yeah."
That was her
So
quote.
she was just speaking in generality.
Yeah,
ways I
Yeah,
wasn't.
we got that, but it sure was funny.
It sure was funny, especially you know,
Watching your dad cringe made it
Oh
even
yeah,
funny.
your dad said, "No, we've never thought that."
he wanted to reiterate that's not really something we say in our household.
Right. He said, "No,
Church
we've never. That's
leadership,
never been
yeah.
an analogy we use."
No, that right.
So when you put the deer
Well, she
down,
was doing a little comedy.
I sent your dad a text. I said, "Your son has just killed a deer. Tell Linda up next, football and beer."
there you go.
You never know.
That's a good shot, Addy.
That was
Thanks
a great
very
shot.
much.
It was a good shot.
Yeah, it was a little behind, like you said.
not bad.
With him stopping to eat right there like that, that does change the angle. I didn't think about that, but I also did not wreck any of the shoulder meat by shooting a little bit farther back. So you know, I mean, I'm pretty much Rambo, and and Greg, you can suck it. You can suck egg, Greg.
Suck egg field.
Yeah. Actually, and JD Miles just told me that that's not even the right field. I had the
No.
wrong field wrong.